Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we plunge into the material you shared and extract the knowledge you need.
Today, we're looking at a pretty dramatic story.
Yeah, what happens when a huge creative project, well, goes off the rails?
And the massive, maybe even painful changes needed to drag it back.
We are talking about, arguably, the greatest course correction in Hollywood history. That jump between 1979's Star Trek, the motion picture, a bit ponderous maybe,
Very much so.
and then 1982's sequel, lean, mean, brilliant Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
A completely different beast.
So our mission today is to explore, the production, the structure, the themes.
On the levers the studio pulled.
Exactly. How did they turn this, commercially disappointing brand
Critically disappointing, too, in many ways.
into something viable, profitable, a franchise that, for many people, Wrath of Khan is still the best representation of Star Trek.
It's the absolute peak, yeah.
Okay. But we have to start with just how bad things seemed after the first one.
Right, you have to understand the context. The motion picture wasn't like a total bomb.
It made money.
It made $139 million worldwide, yeah. But the budget was enormous, $46 million back then.
Wow.
And for the return of Star Trek, this huge pop culture thing, Paramount felt it fell well short of expectations. That's the key phrase.
They saw this big, abstract, almost philosophical movie.
Very slow, very V'ger-centric.
Not the fun, action-packed blockbuster they were hoping for.
And they basically realized, look, if we don't change course radically right now...
The franchise is dead in the water.
Pretty much.
And the biggest signal, the most dramatic sign, they were serious. Who got shown the door?
Yeah, that was huge.
They removed the heart of Star Trek, really. The creator, the showrunner since day one.
Gene Roddenberry.
Removed from production duties for the sequel.
Exactly. And that move, it tells you everything about what Paramount thought the problem was with the first film.
Roddenberry's vision was grand, maybe too grand. Like Kubrick in space.
Focused on these big abstract ideas like vigor, this, incomprehensible cosmic cloud thing.
Paramount looked at the box office, looked at the budget, and said, okay, no more clouds.
Right. No more abstract concepts. We need plot. We need conflict.
Characters people care about.
And crucially, a much, much lower budget.
So the new team had a very clear mandate.
Simple. Make it tight, make it compelling. A character-driven military adventure, basically. On the cheap.
Okay, let's unpack this. So how did that panic, that need to save money, actually lead to, better art?
Well, that's often the case, isn't it? Constraints can breed creativity.
The new production immediately faced two big ones from the studio.
Yep. Tighter budget, much tighter. And a shorter running time. No more 2.5-hour epics.
Producers usually hate that stuff, right? Budget cuts, time limits.
Oh, yeah. But here, the sources really show it forced this incredible discipline, efficiency in the storytelling.
Financial constraints leading to better structure. It happens.
Absolutely. The film clocks in at, 108 minutes? Respectable.
And you feel that economy. Every scene serves a purpose.
The new team, Harf Bennett producing, Nicholas Meyer directing, they just didn't have the time or the money for 5 minutes of just looking at the ship.
Which brings us to that great example, the Enterprise reveal.
Right. In the first movie, you had those long, ponderous, slow-mo shots, basically ship porn, like you said, showcasing the effects budget, sure, but...
Killed the Basing dead.
Totally. But here, Wrath of Khan, lesson learned.
Instead of that slow majesty.
You get a concise, 30-second scene. Kirk arrives on the ship, it's in dock.
And it does so much more.
It includes dialogue, it moves the plot forward, and crucially, it establishes Kirk's awkwardness. He's not the captain anymore, he's just visiting.
That's economic storytelling. Plus, it has thematic weight. It's brilliant.
What's fascinating here is how that financial leash directly resulted in a tighter, more effective film. Just structurally better.
And speaking of structure, they also managed to push visual effects forward, didn't they? Even with less money.
Yeah, this is the early 80s, remember. Technology was moving fast.
And Wrath of Khan was kind of a quiet innovator.
Totally. I mean, first off, they fixed those multicolored warp scenes people really didn't like in the first film.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
But beyond that, the new team used the tech smartly. They brought in a different effects house, ILM, actually.
Industrial Light and Magic. Lucas's company.
The very same. And the sources point out the pioneering work, especially on the Genesis effect.
That cave transformation sequence still looks amazing.
It wasn't just models and physical effects. It had one of the first really successful visible uses of fractal-generated CGI in a major movie.
So cheaper film, but looked more cutting edge in some ways.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Okay, so structure.check, visuals.check, even improved. But they needed a story, a compelling story.
And they made, I think, the absolute perfect decision.
Instead of another nebulous space cloud.
They anchored it in something visceral, personal, a feud.
They brought back Khan.
Khan Noonien Singh, Ricardo Montalbán, the most charismatic villain from the original series, easily.
But first, they had to set the stage, right? The timeline.
Yeah, some time's passed since the motion picture. Kirk's moved up, or maybe sideways. He's an admiral now.
Stuck behind a desk at Starfleet Command.
Growing old, feeling it. Meanwhile, Spock's got the center seat. He's captain of the Enterprise now.
Training a whole new crew of cadets. Fresh faces.
And while all that's happening, Starfleet is pouring resources into this big science project.
The Genesis Project.
Right. Which sounds kind of hopeful, but it's key to the plot.
It's critical. It's not just some lab experiment. It's this massive Starfleet-sponsored terraforming device.
Basically a tool that can rearrange matter on a planetary scale. Make a dead world instantly habitable.
Life from lifelessness, the ultimate renewal tool.
Which makes it the perfect MacGuffin for a story that's really about life, death, and getting older.
Exactly. So the Starship Reliant is out there looking for a dead planet to test this thing on.
Manned by Captain Terrell, and who's his first officer.
Chekhov. Our Chekhov. From the original crew.
Right. And they beam down to check out a candidate planet, Ceti Alpha the 6th, they think.
But they stumble onto something else. The wreckage of an old ship's cargo hold. The SS Botany Bay.
Dun dun dun.
And inside.
Khan. And his followers. Still alive. Marooned there 15 years earlier by Kirk.
Okay, quick backstory for anyone who doesn't know the original episode. Space Seed.
Khan. Genetically engineered Superman from Earth's past, the late 20th century, warlord type.
Kirk found him and his people in suspended animation, woke them up. Khan tried to take over the Enterprise. Standard stuff.
So Kirk marooned them on what he thought was a paradise planet, Ceti Alpha V, gave them a chance to build their own world.
And this is the crucial twist that fuels the whole movie. Something went wrong after Kirk left.
Catastrophically wrong, the sources explain. A nearby planet in the same system exploded.
Which shifted Ceti Alpha V's orbit, messed everything up. The environment was devastated.
It turned into a desert wasteland. Sand, storms, giant killer eels. Horrible conditions. Many of Khan's people died over those 15 years, including, significantly, his wife.
This is so important. Khan's rage isn't just generic villainy.
No, it's specific. It's personal. He blames Kirk directly for the deaths, for the suffering. It's a consequence of Kirk's past actions.
He lost his family, his people, because of where Kirk left them. And he wants revenge.
He swears he'll make Kirk feel that same kind of personal loss.
Which instantly raises the stakes beyond just, stealing a starship.
So when Chekhov and Terrell beam down, bad timing, Khan uses those creepy Ceti eels to take control of them.
Those eels.
Learns about Genesis, learns Kirk is an admiral now and sees his chance.
He hijacks the Reliant.
And sets off with 2 goals. Get Genesis. Get Kirk.
The whole movie becomes about facing the consequences of your past, not just exploring strange new worlds.
Exactly. Much heavier.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Because the new creative team didn't just stop at a good revenge plot.
No, they layered it. They packed it with these intelligent, mature themes. Stuff that really elevates it beyond just space opera.
Themes like aging, dealing with mortality, the importance of legacy.
Yes. And they channel so much of that through Kirk's character arc. It's basically a midlife crisis story set in space.
He's an admiral, earthbound, as the sources say. Stuck.
And visibly aging without much grace. That detail about the reading glasses.
It's such a small thing, but so potent. This larger-than-life captain needs reading glasses now.
It signifies decline, loss of vitality. The Enterprise isn't his ship anymore.
It represents everything he feels he's lost. Everything that was young and vital about him.
He's a man wrestling with feeling over the hill. Obsolete, maybe.
And before Khan even shows up, we get that incredible foreshadowing scene.
The Kobayashi Maru.
The training simulation.
Which, for anyone unfamiliar, is Starfleet's legendary no-win scenario.
A test designed to see how a captain handles inevitable failure, certain death.
The cadets are running it on the bridge simulator, with Spock overseeing. And naturally.
They fail spectacularly. Everyone dies.
And Kirk is watching. He's famously the only cadet who ever beat the test.
By cheating. Reprogramming it. Which tells you a lot about Kirk, too.
Right. But watching this simulation of inescapable death unfold, And then that line afterwards?
Kirk says to Spock, almost offhandedly about the simulation crew, "I thought you were dead."
The sources nail this. It's a strong pointer regarding the direction of the story. It hangs in the air.
That's heavy stuff for a Star Trek movie. It forces you, the audience, to think about life, death, failure, sacrifice.
Before the main action even kicks off, it's preparing you thematically.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, that thematic depth is exactly what was missing from the first film. It lifts the whole thing.
Totally. The Genesis device itself, this scientific miracle for renewing life, becomes the prize in a fight that feels destined to be to the death.
It's literally a battle between renewal and destruction. Life versus vengeance.
And you see that fragility of life played out on the Enterprise itself.
Those cadets, the trainees, they represent new life, the future of Starfleet, young, eager.
But after that first brutal surprise attack by Khan,
Oh man, that scene is rough.
it shows how fragile and fleeting life can be. Young people, caught completely off guard, dying violently.
It really hammers home the stakes. This isn't a game. People are getting hurt, killed, quickly.
And there's another layer, too, we can't forget, David.
Kirk's son, Dr. David Marcus, played by Merritt Buttrick.
Whom Kirk meets, really, for the first time as an adult during this crisis.
He never knew him growing up. David's mother, Carol Marcus.
Phoebe Besh, also brilliant. She's the lead scientist on Genesis.
She asked Kirk to stay away, let David grow up outside his shadow.
So Kirk made that choice years ago, and now here's David, his adult son, right in the middle of this life and death struggle.
It's another reminder, deeply personal this time, of past choices echoing into the present.
It's not just Khan. Kirk's own choices about commitment, about family, are staring him in the face.
It grounds all the space opera stakes in something very real, very human. Kirk has to confront his legacy on every level.
And that combination, the tight action structure, plus that emotional depth, that personal reckoning.
That's why this film didn't just disappear after opening weekend. It resonated. It saved the whole brand.
Absolutely. I mean, the success of Wrath of Khan was so immediate, so profound, and that ending...
Oh, the ending. We won't spoil it, but yeah.
Powerful. It basically created a mandatory sequel. It couldn't end there.
Which is why it's now seen as the first part of a loose trilogy, right? With films 3 and 4.
Yeah, they're often marketed that way now on Blu-ray and stuff. The Genesis trilogy.
And that story arc, carrying across 3 movies, that was pretty ambitious filmmaking for a franchise back then.
It really helped cement the Star Trek films as, like you said, a viable and profitable franchise for Paramount.
They took something that was bleeding goodwill, money, everything,
and turned it into cinematic gold. The sources are really clear on this. It was a massive leap forward from the first film.
And for many, it remains the emotional core, the structural high point for all of Star Trek on film.
It just hit all the right notes. It delivered everything the studio wanted, ironically, by not giving them the first film again.
It's cheaper, faster, more exciting.
Dramatically complex, and crucially emotionally resonant. The stakes felt real because they were personal, not just, galactic.
So what does this all mean? Let's boil it down.
Okay.
For you, the learner listening to this, the key takeaways from our deep dive into Wrath of Khan seem pretty clear.
Its success wasn't accidental. It was engineered.
Right. 3 main pillars, really.
Right.
First, that disciplined, tighter structure. Forced by budget cuts, yes, but it made the storytelling lean and focused on action, not abstract ideas.
Second, the themes.
Yep.
Injecting that deep, intelligent stuff about aging, death, regret, legacy, all channeled through Kirk's very personal crisis.
And third, Khan. Reimagining him not just as a bad guy, but as this visceral, vengeful force driven entirely by the consequences of Kirk's own past actions.
That history is just fascinating because it points to something kind of difficult, maybe, about managing these huge creative projects, which is, well, the removal of the original visionary, Roddenberry, and the imposition of that tight budget. Those things led directly to what most agree is a far superior film.
Tighter writing, better structure, more emotional connection.
Yeah. So it raises a really interesting question for you to think about.
Man.
Does the history of this franchise suggest that sometimes creative success actually requires, well, stepping away from the original vision?
Moving beyond the creator to find necessary discipline. Focus.
Especially when a project gets too big, too abstract, maybe too self-indulgent, is that constraint, that external pressure, sometimes the secret ingredient.
Turning a sprawling kind of failed vision into a focused masterpiece.
Maybe. It's something to consider anyway the next time you're facing a project or even just a pile of information that feels overwhelming and lacks direction. Maybe less is more.